this shit crazy.
Friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. Yeah, my day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you blow up, she can come too. Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne and fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that whoa.
Swole normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping,
Yeah.
the bacon is sizzling.
Oh yeah, sizzle baby.
Welcome to
Come
the
on.
Daily Swole.
Get some. Testing. Test. Is this mic on? Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1185 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and of course, the slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busses, hustlers, and the hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio. We are here for the Sunday Funday Q&Anus, and like I've said before, if you fancy the Q&Anus, the anus, that good anus, you like that shit? I know you do. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. We're live on the Daily Swole podcast channel on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, and Twitch. So what's going on, ya fucking sluts? What's up? What's a good word? Happy Sunday. I hope you had a good day today. I have banged out some yoga this morning. Got some yin yoga in the books and gonna go get some pumps on in a little bit. Big announcements, some big shit that's coming this week. I will be talking about it this week, but I'm not big on celebrations. You guys know how I feel about holidays, even for my own personal holidays. I'm not big on birthdays, but Mama Swolio is. So she's kind of like, oh, we're gonna do something. It's my birthday this week. Yay, big fucking it. Don't. Enough. It's a day. My birthday was a long time ago. Anyway, this week, I'm doing some cool shit with Swolenormous X. So I'm going to be hooking up a lot of you beaches. So make sure you stay tuned from everything from my Instagram stories to here on the podcast to the audio podcast. I'm going to be making a sweet fucking offer and hooking you all up for this week. So instead of me, I'm not trying to fluff my own pillow, but I'm going to pass it on to you. So for those of you that are ready to hook into Swolenormous X, now is the fucking ultimate time, and you'll hear about that this week. So stay tuned for that. But also this week, there'll be some great episodes and some good content that I'm going to talk about, because the approach of where I'm going with this next year of my life is going to be, I'm shifting some of my shit. I'm changing some of the stuff I got going on upstairs and some of my focuses, but that's going to lead to some great content this week. So we're going to talk about that on the official day. Today is the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. So now you can start putting your comments below. And like I've mentioned before on Instagram, you're welcome to watch here. If you want the HD video, the HD audio, and you want to get your question featured up on the screen, you got to go to Daily Swole Podcast on YouTube. So if you're watching on Instagram, I highly recommend you going over and subscribing to the Daily Swole Podcast channel. That way you can ask questions and I can show them. So let your questions come on in, and I'll give a couple more announcements and let you all know a little bit more details and do some more housekeeping as the questions start coming in. Let's see. So tomorrow is, I didn't post this up in the group yet, but there's a new event. It's going to be the accountability meeting for Swolenormous X members and for Daily Swole Club members tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time in the private Facebook group. And also, I'll be announcing and releasing the brand new Brain Gains section inside Swolenormous X. So if you're a Swolenormous X member, that will be the grand release, and you'll have a few sessions available that you could jump right into it, and there will be more coming shortly after. So the Brain Gains is the brand new meditation section inside Swolenormous X exclusively for Swolenormous X members. So that's super exciting. That's a major new section. So you'll see a brand new section in your library. So when you log into your account, X members, you'll see next to like the yoga studio and the Swollen 7 and the workout archive and the program vault and all those sections, you'll see Brain Gains, and then you'll be able to access your initial sessions right away. So that's going to be fucking cool. And I'll release that and walk you all through that tomorrow during the accountability meeting. So 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow, Monday. And I'll post that event. I thought I did today, but I think it's still a draft and I fucking didn't post it. Damn, stupid Papa. Stupid. Dude. God damn it, Papa Solio. You fucking up. No, I'm all good. I feel better now. Whew. Okay, we're good. All right, so accountability, I'm just fucking with you. Accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. And yeah, so that's all I'll have to say about that, Jenny. So let's jump right in. We are live for 1185. Ooh, live for 85. Live for 85. A lot of you have some catching up to do with the podcast. You got some shit to catch up on. Gonna be juicy. Sebastian. Oh, we got some questions with the sauna. We got some good shit. Cool. All right, let's see. Let's take the first question. This one's from Adam Penman. Hey, Papa. Hey, Adam. Hey, Papa, do you use the sauna pre or post workout? I'm just gonna do an accent for each person. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But I'll do it. I just did that for you. Do I use the sauna pre or post? If I do the sauna, I'll do it post workout. For sure. I don't have a sauna at my gym. I have one where I stay, so I can go to one afterwards. But I prefer generally the sauna at night, like before bed, something like that. But you can... I wouldn't do it before. I wouldn't want to dehydrate myself. But if you're doing hot yoga or something like that too, that can replace doing stuff in the sauna, creating that internal heat. So personally, if I had a choice to do it before or after, for sure, it would be after. All right. No question. Just thank you for all the positive vibes and truth. My life is changing because of you. Thank you, amigo. You're welcome, Sebastian. Sebastian Villegas. Good shit. How we doing, Instagram? All right. So head on over to the YouTube channel, Daily Swole Podcast, so you can get your shit featured on the screen. I'm telling you, it's the best place to watch. Best place to watch the Slamcast. That's what, come on, man. All right, here we go. Let's see. Next question from Laura Lulu. Not to toot my own horn, I am down 45 pounds and counting my sis, your sister, can be judgmental and was ashamed of me when I was heavier. Do you have tips of getting her to be more accepting? What? You're down 45 pounds. You don't have to toot your own horn. Being down 45 pounds is fucking great. That's fucking amazing. You're healthier. Don't listen to the fat acceptance people. You're a healthier person. You're in a better place because you're less overweight. That's fantastic. Your sister can be judgmental. No, fuck your sister. God damn it. Fuck you can't choose your relatives. Sometimes let me fast track some of you. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes the people that you're related to suck. Sometimes the people that you're related to are pieces of shit, or they're cocksuckers, or they're cunts, or they're twats, or they're bitches, or beaches, or booshes, or cockknockers, or puss nuggets. Like they're one of the above. Just because you're related to someone doesn't mean they have to be a good person. Since when does sharing blood mean anything? Get the fuck out of here. This isn't one of those old shows like Blood to the End. No, sometimes your relatives suck. You can't choose your family. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Sometimes family members suck and they're fucking crazy, or they're just not someone you want to spend a lot of time with. It's okay. You don't have to be like absolutely infatuated best friends with your parents. You should respect them and appreciate the fact that they gave birth to you, but maybe your parents are abusive, or they're pieces of shit, or they're just not, they don't provide any value for you. Okay. You have to understand that that's them and it's not on you, and you have to move on with your life and accept them for who they are, because that's who they are. But I mean, God damn it. You don't have to, your sister might be a cunt. It's okay. It's fine. I'll say it. Tell her to listen to this podcast. It sounds like it. If your sister was judgmental and ashamed of you, well, she should be proud of you. Is she proud of you for losing weight? Fuck that person. Alex Vandergeist. You like this? You like how this episode is starting off? With a fucking bang. The Q&Anus with a capital A. Is it a losing battle? How to navigate wanting to become a PT and help others in a time where people's idea of fitness is so fucked up and people filled with false info about nutrition and fitness? Holy shit. Is that a question or a long statement with a question mark at the end? Is it a losing battle? It's not a battle at all. If you want to become a personal trainer, if you want to help people, then it doesn't matter what climate it is. People's idea of fitness is so fucked up. People's idea of everything has been fucked up since the beginning of mankind. Our general like collective ideas about everything are pretty fucked up. Fitness, people used to think like in the 50s. In the 50s, people used to remember those like rubbing machines where women would strap yourselves black and white footage where the women would wrap that strap around and it would just shake and vibrate. They thought they could vibrate and rub fat off their bodies. I mean, talk about false info. That was just complete bullshit, snake oil stuff. It's not too much different today. It's just disguised better. So how to navigate? Then fucking be a PT and help someone. Help people. Alex, if you want to help people, then fucking help people. Literally, fucking help people. That's it. If that's what you want to do, it doesn't matter what the climate is. Be the sunshine. Be the ray of sunshine in the darkness. Done. Good question. And a good knowledge cock slap, if I might say so myself. Christine Madrid. Oh, you put the Q. Oh, you put the Q, colon. Oh, look at you. I'll give you the A colon in a second. You mentioned Papa Swole. I'm going to add the Papa Swole. If you put the Papa Swole in there, it's just bonus points. Christine Madrid. Papa Swolio, you mentioned that you used to eat Sour Patches after a workout. Just curious, why, how does sugar help after a workout? That was a while ago. That was a couple years ago. I don't do that anymore. I haven't had Sour Patch Kids in fucking forever. I don't know, whatever the last video was, I haven't had them in like a year or two. It seems like even longer. I used to do it before, during, and after. I told you that was like my last cheat, my last excuse, and I just realized that's just full of shit. I don't need it. And truth be told, didn't need it. Plus, it fucks up your teeth, and it's just complete garbage. That was like my only thing that I did, really. No, done with it. Over. Sugar, your body uses sugar during weight training. That's your body's source of energy, glycogen, stored blood glucose, and also glycogen stored sugar in the muscles and the liver. So after a workout, when you're doing resistance training, your body can benefit from carbohydrate sources. That's why people have like post-workout shakes with fruit and stuff like that, or they eat food, sweet potatoes, or a meal, which is what I do now. I do protein shakes and stuff. People always do like a lot of like protein shakes after a workout. Your body needs carbs after a workout. It's not really dying for fucking protein. It wants carbohydrates. It wants food. So yeah, you could just eat a meal right after. You don't have to. I wouldn't recommend. And I'm telling you because I've learned, I've grown, and I'm like, I would not recommend anyone go and eat candy. But people still do. And just because I did doesn't mean you should. So I don't recommend it personally anymore. That's like my first video on YouTube. It's like, Sour Patch Kids, why eat Sour Patch? I'm like, I fucking rage. I don't eat that shit anymore. What do I think of mountain biking as cardio? I think it's probably challenging. It's probably good cardio. It's very, very high risk as well. So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I wouldn't recommend mountain biking unless you enjoy it. It's good cardiovascular activity, but it's also high risk. So it depends on your goal. I would recommend it if you enjoy it. Don't do it as like, hey, I'm trying to find the best form of cardio, which I doubt is why you're asking. People don't usually go for mountain biking as like, oh, is that a great source of cardio or great form? It's like, I love to mountain bike. Is that good? Sure, it's good. Are you out of breath? It seems like more of a skill than it is for like a cardiovascular component, but I'm sure there's many different types of mountain biking. Sure, it's not easy, but I don't like biking. I don't like cycling in general, just because people are sitting down too much. So sitting down, hunched over, hip flexors, tightening up like crazy. I think generally mountain biking or being on a bicycle is not needed for human beings. I love the collaboration. Very entertaining. Will you do more collaborations? Yeah, I've had guests on before. Each and every single one of them, except for John, was on before, and there'll be more guests. So yes. Danny, how do you feel about replacing oatmeal with white potatoes in the morning? I personally wouldn't have either. I think potatoes are a better choice than oatmeal in general. I would say, why not replace them with sweet potatoes? But that's me personally. So you might want to try it and give it a shot, but I haven't had oatmeal in a long time. I feel much better without having oatmeal, but by not having oatmeal in my diet than when I had it. Hey, Papa, what do you think about the food combining diet? Oh, this is from Sai. I have no, what the fuck is the food combining diet? You mean eating food and combining it in your mouth? What the fuck is a food combining diet? That's made up jargon bullshit. Fuck that. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what food combining. Tell me, what the fuck is food combining? You're combining it by putting it together? What does that mean? This is another example of someone making shit up. Someone's literally making things up. A food combining diet. Yeah. Okay. Try to reinvent the wheel again. Oh, I'm getting pissed off with that kind of shit. God, fuck people. People suck. You're all cool. You can stay. You're cool. People suck. They suck. They suck. Adam, do you think there are benefits of cold showers in the mornings? Sure. It's a good way to wake up. It's nice if you do a little yoga first or some little, get your heart rate up, get a little sweat going, then jump in the cold shower. Ooh, wake your ass up. Someone said food combining is BS. It just sounds like something you just do because you're eating food. Food combining. It's just a made up. It's like the next diet's going to be eating with your eyes closed. If you eat with your eyes closed, you'll gain less weight because your body doesn't see the calories. Oh, the eyes closed diet. If I close my eyes, you won't be able to see me. You can't see the calories. If you don't see the calories, they don't exist. Karadan Lu. What types of resistance bands are best for absolute beginners? Light ones, light resistance. I've started doing yoga and intense walking and want to add resistance, but there are too many types of bands to choose from. No, there's just many different types of companies. Just get a nice starter set. There are good companies like Body Elastics and other types that have handles and interchangeable things, but just get a set with light resistance bands. Just get a good set. Go on Amazon. Just boom. Done. Lulu, I'm starting to lose weight fast due to the elimination diet and training consistently, but I'm getting a lot of stretch marks all over my body. Should I be worried about it? You're not getting stretch marks. You already have them. If you're starting to lose weight fast, you're not getting stretch marks. These were already there. You're just seeing them maybe because now the skin isn't stretched out around as much body fat. If you're losing weight, you're just seeing them more. I had the same thing. I have stretch marks under my arms and stuff when I gained a lot of muscle in a shorter period of time. So you already have them. You're just seeing them more prominently. You don't gain them from losing weight. You achieve them. You got stretch marks from gaining weight too fast or too much over a shorter period of time. Should you be worried about it? I mean, there's nothing to worry about, but I mean, you can put things like jojoba oil on, vitamin E, cocoa butter. I mean, it's going to minimize it, but they're not going to disappear unless you get like laser and shit. Is that why blind people are so skinny? They can't see the food. They can't grab it. Blind people just aren't enticed by the Snickers at checkout because they can't see it. Yeah, if they're not looking at the calories. If you close your eyes, you don't gain as much weight. Let's see here. Tara Joseph. My doctor is not helpful as far as exercises for strengthening my core to help my bulging disc on L5. Any tips would be so helpful. If you're cleared, I would start practicing yoga. Start with a beginner or all levels class and start working up from there. You can practice foam rolling to release tight muscles around your hips and hip flexors and thoracic spine and stuff. Things like planks and hip bridges, doing core activation exercises, getting your glutes, doing targeted glute exercises, single leg squats, balance exercises, single leg. Balance reach, single leg RDLs, hip bridges are great. There are a bunch of different ways to do core activation exercise, but yoga is a great place to start if you're not already, Tara. Zozo Jones on YouTube. I was wondering how you meditate. Do you listen to music? How do you do it? You can do a guided meditation. There are a lot of apps. I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, tomorrow we're launching in Swolenormous X, a brand new section called Brain Gains. So it's a guided meditation, but literally just sitting in silence and just letting your brain kind of sift through thoughts and just bringing your attention back to the breath is a very basic way. Meditation is pretty much doing nothing, essentially. There are different ways to help your body and your brain focus on less things, which is pretty much I guess the overall goal of meditation would be there's many different types, and I'm just really kind of like steamrolling over a lot of it. And I'm not like, I'm not well versed in every different method and the names of all the different methods, but really it's more self-awareness and more conscious awareness of your thoughts when you have them and why you're having the feelings that you're having, and just being more aware of, your control throughout the day. So it's not about thinking less. It's about noticing when your mind wanders and bringing it back to like a single point of focus. That's a really basic way to understand what meditation is. So it's not about having less thoughts. It's about letting a lot of the superfluous thoughts kind of like float on by and bringing your brain back and bringing your attention back to one point of focus, which is very commonly the breath. So that's a great way to think about it. But there are a lot of great guided meditation apps that you can do. Let's try this YouTube thing. Insta sucked. Facebook was sketchy. Come on, YouTube. Don't knowledge cock block me. YouTube's the shit. How we looking? How am I coming in? Coming in pretty? Yeah. You like this? I know you do. Kieses. Let's see here. Let's see. We got Gamer Valine. Papa Swole, what are your thoughts on arc trainers? I'm using one after I'm done with weights to make a semi-circuit, and I despise just running, so I do hill-style intervals. An arc trainer, one of those cardio machines, I can't picture it. I know what you're talking about. I can't picture it. What are my thoughts on it? The only machines I do for cardio are the only one I do is what I have access to. I just do the step mill, the rotating stairs. Aside from that, I don't use any of those other cardio machines personally. The Herbs Palsy Yogi. Hi, Papa Swole. I have Herbs Palsy brachial plexus injury from birth. Do you have any suggestions for upper body exercises? I do yoga already, but I'd like to strengthen my affected arm. I would assume just doing strength training. I don't have any particular experience with your condition, so I'm not going to just make some random suggestions, but it sounds like, what would be different from anyone else's? What's the limitations? You have a brachial plexus injury, but like, what's your limitation for upper body exercise? Like, don't you want to just do what normal human beings do? If you want to strengthen your affected arm, then strengthen that arm, then focus on training on that. I'm not an expert in whatever your situation is. So that's all I can say about that right now. Let's see here. Ella Fruit Girl. So if you ask a question, the comments are scrolling pretty fast. So if you ask a question and I don't see it, you can always just drop it again. Ella Fruit Girl on Instagram. How long does it take to lose muscle? To lose muscle? I am very lean and started cycling 2 weeks ago, and I really just like the way my legs have formed muscle. Are they forming muscle, or are you just pushing the fat further out to the surface? What's very common is you're not burning. First off, you're not building that much muscle in 2 weeks. Literally, I'm not even shitting you. If you started cycling 2 weeks ago, you dislike the way your legs have formed the muscle, you're not building muscle in 2 fucking weeks. Maybe like a couple ounces of muscle. For real, you're a woman. You're not building a lot of muscle unless you're shooting up. So you're just inflamed. You're probably just swollen from cycling 2 weeks ago. You have a lot more fluid in your legs. You probably have a lot more damage and low-level inflammation from your body, from like the micro trauma in your body adapting to the new stress. It feels a little thicker. You have more water. It's pushing the fat. It just looks thicker, looks a little bit more swollen just because your body is trying to recover. So I wouldn't worry so much. You're not building that much muscle in 2 weeks, if any. A lot of times it's really just kind of like coordination. So it's usually an illusion, because unless you're really doing scans and underwater weighing and DEXA scans, you don't really know how much muscle you're building. You're just looking at it and feeling bigger, feeling thicker. You feel stronger. You feel more sore, or you feel more swollen in your legs. So it gives you this illusion that it's bigger. And you look in the mirror, the lighting, the inflammation, it's like when you lift weights. Anyone else can chime in on this too. When you're lifting weights, that's why we have this feeling. And I'm going to relate this to everyone else that lifts weights and might not be doing like the cycling thing. If you're lifting weights regularly, let's say you're doing 5-6 days a week. That's why when people feel like they take a day off, that they're losing everything. Oh my God, I can't take a day off, but am I going to lose all my gains in one day? It's like, fuck no, you're not going to lose all your gains in one day. But if you're used to being swollen and sore and pumped up, you get that transient hypertrophy where the muscles are just pumped full of blood. When you take one day off and you're recovering and your inflammation goes down and you're not getting that like that pump in that one day, all of a sudden you feel tiny. It's in your fucking head. You're not any bigger or smaller than you were the day before. It's just you're not swollen in the moment. Literally, you're not literally swollen because when you train, like when I go to the gym today, I'm gonna look like I'm fucking just ripping through my skin. I'm gonna have a sick pump, but then I'm gonna come back and it's gonna reabsorb. Your body comes back to normal. Your body comes back to a resting state. So it's called transient hypertrophy because your body sends blood. Body sends blood to the muscles, and then when you're done training, your body reabsorbs that. So a lot of blood and a lot of energy is up in your head and in your brain for cerebral function, things like that. When you're exercising, like 80 to 90% of your blood in your body are in your muscles to facilitate training. Shame on the moon. I have scars from mountain biking. LOL. It's very high risk. Everyone that I know that mountain bikes gets fucked up. That's why I said if you enjoy it and it's something you love to do, sure, it's good cardio, but it's like, hey, I love cliff diving. Is that good cardio? I mean, not really, but maybe climbing up the mountain, then jumping. It's just high risk. It's not, don't do mountain biking for cardio. If you enjoy mountain biking, do it for like an active recovery, but just understand that if your goal is to build muscle and to have a physique and you want to try to do less high risk things that are going to get you fucked up and take you out of the gym. So if you love it, do it, but it's not like something that you should do for cardio. That's what I was saying earlier. So good input. Shame on the moon. Good name too. Shame on the moon. Shame on that fucking moon for making the oceans tide, making the ocean work, making the oceans work. Fucking shame on the moon. Shame on the moon for making those tides go in and out. I love how Instagram's fucking like a ghost town over here. Is everyone going over to YouTube from Instagram? I hope so. Flood that YouTube. Instagram. I don't think Instagram notifies people for shit when it comes to live. YouTube is always, every time I go live on YouTube, just fucking bumping. Tons of people tune in on YouTube. Facebook, the same thing. Instagram, no matter how many followers I get, no matter how, it's always like, it's like a little bit. Instagram caps out hard. So fucking weird. I think the notifications on Instagram are terrible. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Hey, Beaches, do Papa Swole a favor and smash that like button. That's right. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, drop some comments. I think people like that. Journey to the fitness. What do I think of disc golf? You mean frolf? I remember that from Seinfeld. Frisbee golf? Frolf? What do I think of it? I don't know. I've never done it. Cheers. Go golfing with your hands. I don't know. MJ. Papa Swolio. Hi, MJ. Michael Jackson's back, everyone. Hide your children. What does it mean when they say that you should prioritize eating or workout depending on your goal, losing fat or gaining muscle? I don't get it. Well, that makes two of us because I don't get your question. What does it mean when they say you should prioritize eating or you should prioritize both? You need both. I don't know what your goal is. You don't get it? Then you got to start watching this podcast, listening, reading, learning, and executing the gym. You got a lot to learn, MJ, which is fine. You're in the right place, but you need to figure out what you want to achieve. You want to build muscle? Yeah. You got to eat right and you got to train hard. Yeah. Ever go rock climbing? I have. Yeah. Yes. Zozo Jones question. How did you start meditating? Yoga classes and apps. Tried a couple different things. Do you listen to music? No. I answered this question already. How do you undo the knots in your brain? You don't. I think nonstop, and I was wondering if meditation would help ease it. Yes and no. So let me reiterate this again and again. This is a great question because, again, like I mentioned earlier, for Swolenormous X members, the brand new Brain Gains section launches tomorrow during the accountability meeting. So super exciting for those of you that are members that are watching. So that's going to be your guided meditation section inside Swolenormous X. When it comes to the knots in your brain, again, meditation isn't about like not thinking. You're always thinking. Your brain is there to fucking think. However, it makes you more aware of where these thoughts are coming from. And you release them a lot quicker. They don't fucking, it's like cleaning out the closet. Think about it like that. It doesn't mean that you have, that you have empty shelves necessarily, but you're organizing your room. You're organizing your closet. Imagine like your head is the attic and you're allowing just everything in there. Just think of how many people you follow on social media. Think about how many messages you have in your inbox. It's just things just fucking build up. You get a lot of junk and you got a clean house. So it makes you more aware when these thoughts come in, and it helps you refocus when you need to on the things that you need to. So if you think nonstop, welcome to being a human. But yes, meditation would absolutely help. So I would recommend starting today. Amar Akush. That's your name now, at least. In summer, people talk about fitness. Winter, they talk about food. That make any sense, Poppy? It makes a lot of sense to Poppy Swolio. It makes a lot of sense to me, my dude. If you're a dude, Amar kind of sounds like it could be a female's name, but I don't know. Maybe you're in the mood to be one or the other today. I don't know anything about you, but I love you, and I'm glad you're here. Yeah, people talk about fitness because you're out at the beach with your tits out. If you're on the beach and you're in a warm climate, I mean, here in Florida, it's nice all year round. It does get cold relative to Florida. Like in February and March, you'll get chilly. Nips get hard and that old chestnut. But in the winter, people talk about food because it's holiday season. Everyone's eating like a fat pig. And most places, at least in the United States, most places are cold in the winter. So everyone's different. In the South here and other places in the southern United States, it's not going to be quite as cold in the winter, but the majority of the United States gets cold. So you're wearing fucking big bundled up clothes and you don't see your body as much. So people kind of punch out and do like bulking season in the winter, which is not a bad technique, but I still don't think people should just be eating garbage. So it makes total sense. It's human nature. It's a good excuse to eat garbage. Jacqueline Blanco. Hi, Papa. Hi, Jacqueline. Would you ever have a meet and greet or fitness retreat for like-minded fitness people? I would, and I will. So as long as you're following this community and you're plugged in, you'll hear about it when that stuff does happen. So always down for new shit. For sure. Numulite99. Hey, Papa. What's up, Nums? What's good cardio if you're heavy and want to save your knees? I love spinning, but it's doing nothing for my mobility. Yeah, quite the opposite. Spinning's jacking up your mobility. Any advice? Yoga. Doing something low impact. So whether you're doing an elliptical or you do spinning, I'm not a fan of spinning. I'm not a fan of bikes. We're sitting down so often. It's like, hey, I'm going to exercise. Let me sit down and fucking hunch over. Oh, but I'm standing a little bit. You're hunched over like a dog taking a shit. Spinning is not a good move for mobility. It's a terrible idea for mobility. Let's see. Boom, boom. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Papa, does meditation help with sleep? For sure. If you're able to whittle down your thought process and relax yourself, there are great meditation sequences before bed. You can have there are so many things out there. If you go in the App Store, Google Play, you can find a lot of free meditation apps. Some are paid for. Like I mentioned before, there's many different types of meditation, but a lot of them focus on really great ones to start with are ones that just focus on the breath. And really meditation is you just sitting there doing nothing and allowing your brain to allow all those fucking thoughts to just evaporate. But most people, when they start meditating, they are trying to do things because we're so used to doing things. We're so used to being conscious and, okay, I have this to do. I have that to do. I got to do this. I got to try this and squeeze here and do this. No, when you meditate, you literally you're there. I mean, it's all upstairs. You're still and you're breathing. So focusing on the breath helps you focus on one point and allow these other thoughts that are going to always come back into your brain space, allow them to dissipate. But again, it's a practice. So it's going to be different. A lot of people feel like I can't slow down for meditation. It's too slow. I can't do that. Those are the people that need it. If you feel like you're too hyped up for yoga and you can't focus doing yoga because it's too slow or meditation is too slow, you're the one that needs it the most. Okay. When you're doing yoga or you're practicing mobility or meditation, usually when you have those sticking points where you're doing a move and it really sucks and it's really uncomfortable and it's really hard for you to do, those are the ones you need the most. The ones you don't like are the ones you need to practice more. It's really your body telling you like, oh, this fucking sucks, it's uncomfortable. That's because you need it. Where people are you like you commenting on Instagram and then commenting on YouTube? Pick one. I like the hustle though. Double questions. I see the same question popping on both places. Good hustle. Robbie, I'm hypoglycemic, and when I try to cut, I have problems with shakiness and weakness. Any tips? Don't cut. Don't cut. You're obviously not getting in enough calories or the right types of food. So I would take a look at your caloric intake and your macros and stuff and adjust until you feel better. Maybe cutting is not the right thing. Maybe you're eating a lot less than you think you are, is another possibility. Mar Torres on the YouTubes. Hey, Papa Swolio, since last October, I've lost 66 pounds. Very nice. I have at least 40 pounds to go, and I'm thinking of becoming a PT. Do you think I should wait till I'm closer to my goal weight or start studying while losing the rest? Why are you going to wait? You don't feel like you're worthwhile? This is very common, too. You probably heard all my stuff saying, like, you don't want to listen to a fat fucking personal trainer. Doesn't mean you can't be a fat personal trainer. Look, I'm going to be real honest with you. Doesn't mean you can't be a fat personal trainer that knows what the fuck they're talking about. So it goes both ways. Do you give a shit about my opinion? I don't think you should. If you want to be a PT, then go be a fucking PT. Go do it. Don't wait. Why would you wait? Start studying. Fucking learn. It's going to help you in your weight loss process. Plus, when you've been obese and you've lost the weight, you have priceless information. You know how to relate to your clients. Maybe you want to focus on obesity. Maybe you want to focus on people losing weight and inspire people based on your journey. Don't wait. Fucking do it. Get off your ass and start studying. Go do it. Get on it. Yeah, man, YouTube is way better. Damn straight. What? I got a burp coming. Coffee burp coming. Stick around. It's coming. A couple seconds. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, I felt good. Oh, I feel so much better now. I'm ready. Now I'm ready to answer some questions. I'm ready to give some anus. Paula Grabbits. Good name. I have a lot of scar tissue in my ankles, Papa Swolio, from a sports injury. I lift but love the weight loss. When I ran 3 miles every day, can a strong, fast walk do the same for me as running did? I wouldn't be able to tell you that unless you do it. Don't forget, you're not necessarily going to lose. If you've already lost a lot of weight, you're not necessarily going to lose the same weight at the same rate, even if you did running again. I wouldn't recommend running. If you're running heel to toe, you're jacking yourself up, which is probably why it's definitely not helping your injury in your ankles. You should be running. Not that I want you to go right to barefoot running, but the fundamental form from running heel to toe is high impact and fucks up the knees and the back. So can a strong, fast walk? It could be similar. That's not really the right question because it's the caloric deficit, it's the caloric expenditure. So any type of cardio, your body is going to adapt very well to. So you're better off lifting weights and doing, let's say, fast walking or walking on an incline or doing a step mill at the gym or something like that. Swimming, that's not impact on your legs, on your ankle. And if you're in a caloric deficit and you're training properly and your metabolic rate increases and your body has some place to utilize the energy, blah, 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 you'll lose weight. So I don't really know anything about you in terms of your diet or your weight loss or your goals, but you'll plateau a lot quicker with cardio than you will with weights. Nate Mail. What a fucking man's name. My name's Nate Mail. Just call me Mail. Hey, Big Papa Swolio. Thank you. Fluffing the pillow in the beginning of the question. You really want this question answered. You want some A. Have you ever tried any strongman style lifts like log press or yoke walks? I haven't. I don't have access to it. I haven't really fucked with that kind of stuff just because there's no real purpose for it unless you're trying to do a competition. I mean, it's for fun, but I don't have, sometimes they have those like logs at the gym, but like I haven't really dabbled too much with it. I fucked around with certain things, but not specifically any of those. I haven't gone to like a strongman gym, but I used to do a lot of like random cross training type stuff with like trail running and shit. This is like a decade ago, but I used to do a lot of trail runs in my Vibrams. I used to win like trail run competitions and shit like that. I won the 5Ks were brutal because those guys were fucking fast as shit, but I won a 10K trail run. So they do these trail runs down here because Florida, there's no, you're like trail run in Florida, but down here they have these like, man-made kind of like areas, these parks and stuff where they have mountain bike trails and they block them off, no bikes, and they turn them into trail running courses for the competition. So it was cool. But you get hurt doing that shit. It was fun for a little bit, but I just love lifting. It's so much more consistent and so much more long-term benefits. What's my favorite meal to make? Fucking my favorite meal to eat, to make. I don't like to make shit. I like Mama Swole making this stuff. She makes it better. And it tastes better when someone else makes it. I love steak. I love steak. I love bacon. I'm so fucking simple, but I like good food. I like good food. Gianna. Questions for the day. Papa Swolio, why did you decide to start meditation and yoga? Where did you discover the benefits? I'm starting it on my next day off from the gym. Well, they're two different things. What's great about yoga, and the reason why I like to go to yoga classes, and the reason why we have a yoga studio in Swole X, one of the great things to be led through a yoga class is that you're focusing and you're not thinking about what you're doing next. If you do it yourself, some people can do it themselves, right? If you're a real hardcore yogi, you can do it. And that's more of a challenge. Not everyone is equipped for that. It's not always easy to shut off and just focus on doing the yoga yourself. It's nice to be led through the practice. It's nice to be focusing on literally executing the moves. And it helps you meditate by focusing on what you're doing. What I love about yoga and where you get the meditative aspects, they're two different things, but you get meditative aspects in yoga because you're focusing on what's going on the mat, which is where you are, right? You have your yoga mat, so you leave it on the mat and everything that's off the mat has no place. Like you're not thinking about business, you're not thinking about relationships, like you're on the mat and you're doing the moves there. So everything else kind of gets left off. So you're really focused in the present moment. And if it's challenging and if someone's guiding you through it, you're focused on the words, you're focusing on the moves. You don't necessarily know what's coming next, so you can't anticipate it. It's a great way to kind of unplug and really, kind of leave a lot of the other stuff away or out the door, outside the studio and stuff like that, or outside the other room or whatever you're doing yoga. Jamar John Johnson. These fucking names are amazing, by the way. You guys have some fucking amazing names. Jamar John Johnson. Fuck me. Triple J. You're J'd up. Does a 5 to 10 mile walk serve as cardio, or do I have to get on that Stairmaster to really hit the proper zones? If you're trying to hit the proper zones, the zone training is just a percentage of your max heart rate. So if you're trying to hit the proper zones, you got to walk faster, you got to run or jog or sprint or get on the Stairmaster, sure, or elliptic. It doesn't matter. It's just that's a heart rate thing. Sean, 9-ish pounds in what amount of time? Yeah, you're gonna have to ask. That's not a question. You have to formulate that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Pounds of what? Awaken the Wolf, fat loss. What's the most difficult yoga pose you've done? I don't know. There's so many of them. Which pose took the longest to develop? All of them. I'm still developing all my poses. That's the proper answer for anyone to answer that question. Every pose is always under development. So there isn't one specific one. There are a lot of them. And there are a lot more of them that I haven't done yet that I'm sure that I'm going to be exposed to and be like, fuck. They're all hard. Yoga's brutal. Okay. And this is something I'm going to talk about more this week. So I'm not going to spoil it because I got a lot of talking about this topic. But, this year I'm focusing a lot more on yoga than strength training. But I'm going through pretty much 10, 15, 20 years of heavy strength training. You can't go 1-2 yoga classes a week and think you're going to make up massive ground. It'll make a big difference. But if you really want to make massive mobility improvements, you have to prioritize your training to be more mobility or yoga based. They're all always under development for sure. Emo Kid, good question. Papa, how essential is stretching after a workout? How long should stretches be held? If so, personally, I don't really like stretching right after a workout. I don't think it's a wise move just from my experience. Some people might love it just because when you're lifting weights, and here's my logic behind it. And just from my experience, like I mentioned, and it doesn't mean that you don't do mobility after, but just hear me out. Make sure you listen. Don't just write me off and be like, oh, Papa Swole doesn't stretch before a workout or after a workout. After a workout, when you're lifting, you're building up internal tension to overcome an external force. So you have a lot of tension built up in the muscles. So after a workout, let's say you finish your last set and you go over and you start holding these static stretches, you're putting a lot of like, your body isn't really relaxing. You're not really relaxing into those stretches. You really aren't. You have too much tension built up. And in my opinion, it's better to do something, if you're doing something right after, wait a little bit and do some foam rolling to loosen it up, to kind of facilitate the fluids and the blood flow through the muscle tissue and the soft tissue. And then later on do yoga, and later on do some static stretching after you kind of do some mobility work with the foam rolling. And after you give a little time for the tension internally to dissipate. Right after a workout, right after, I don't believe is the best time to do static stretching. Maybe do some like mobility, do like a little bit of a cool down, which is fine. Get on, do a little cardio as a cool down, do a little mobility, a little yoga right after, just to kind of like more of a dynamic stretch. But static holds right after a strength training session, I think you need to do some more inhibition first, just kind of shift over into it. So that's why I like to do yoga after a weight training workout later on in the day. If I do workouts in the morning and, yoga in the evening. Today I did it differently because there was a yin class in the morning. So I went, and then the evening, in a little bit after the show, I'm going to go and do some weights, but I usually don't do it in that order. Psych or Kike one, Psych. I hope that's a soft C. Psych one. As a 33-year-old just starting to lift, is there anything I should look out for? How often should I lift, or is it not too different to lifting in the 20s? It's going to be just as hard, if not harder, just because you're starting. So don't jump into anything too fast. Don't listen to someone who's been fucking lifting for a long time. Oh, just do these. I would recommend starting with a regular yoga practice along with a basic weight training program. Basics. Just be careful for the volume. Don't go crushing yourself. Start with more larger muscle groups first. Do like total body workouts. Do push, pull, upper, lower body, and make sure you get the yoga in, because you have a lot of like stiffness to fix, and you have a lot of alignment issues, I'm sure, if you're just starting to work out now, which is great. It's fantastic, but don't use this opportunity to start with your mobility now rather than trying to make up ground later. Do I have a favorite exercise, Raymond? No, I don't. Good question, though. Let's see here. Savvy J. Cole on Instagram. Hey, Papa Swole, what up? When I do my workouts, sometimes I'm sore for days after. Is it safe to work out when you're sore, or do I need to wait? How do I know when I overtrain? There are many different ways to sense overtraining. A lot of that will come with experience. There's probably like 20, 30, 40 different aspects of potential signs of overtraining. So it could be weakness, it could be chronic hunger, it could be fullness, could be depression, could be mood swings, it could be, getting sick often, could be like depreciating strength, could be just exhaustion and lack of motivation to go to the gym and inspiration. So it's normal to be sore. If you train hard, you're sore for a few days after, but I would not be training the same body part. If you're already still sore, it probably means that you're not recovering enough. So overtraining is more about under recovering rather than doing too much. So, because there's some people that do a ton of different shit, but they're also recovering really well. They're doing a lot for their recovery. They're taking enough time between. They're training hard, but they're also doing their recovery hard. They're sleeping well. They're eating well. They're hydrating well. They're stretching. They're doing yoga. They're doing sauna and all this stuff. So they're getting a lot of recovery aspects of it. So it depends on the person. It's really hard to answer that question. Zozo Jones, how long does it take to become a PT? Personal trainer or physical therapist? What are you referring to? Personal training is like the Wild West. Every certification has different requirements. So it depends on what certification you want and just follow their protocols. Monica Guardinska, should daily protein be divided equally in meals, or it doesn't matter? I mean, you might want to spread it out, but it generally, like the total protein intake for the day, you might not want to eat 100 grams in one meal, but it's better to spread things out in general. I don't think it's really that important. You're probably overthinking. It sounds like you're overthinking it a lot, but you could generally just split it up. I'm scrolling. I'm going to have to scroll down a lot. I'm missing a bunch of them. So let's see here. Got some more questions. Pole Lioness. Hey, Papa Swallow, I eat clean 95% of the time. What does that mean? So you're saying like I cheat. That's a nice general percentage. So eating clean 95% of the time means one cheat meal, one like little meal on one day, like one. But struggle to get enough calories without eating rubbish. Can you recommend any calorically dense clean foods to include in my meals? More of them. Calorically dense clean foods. More of the foods that you're eating. If you're eating a lot of fiber, you're probably not going to be getting a lot of fibrous food. The reason why people eat shit foods is because they generally don't have a lot of fiber, so you can get more calories in, but it spikes insulin a lot more. They're usually a lot of more processed. So foods with more fiber have more bulk and you'll get full more because this just it's more volume in the stomach and the gut. So calorically dense clean foods, just more of them. Of course, it's hard to eat enough calories without eating rubbish. This is why people don't build muscle. This is why people don't make fucking gains, because it's hard to eat significant amounts of food. Try eating 3,000 calories of quality food. Most people have no fucking idea how much food that is. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of fucking calories. Most people don't understand how much food you have to consume to build muscle, especially as you build, and you have to be consistent. Even when days when you don't train, you got to fucking still eat excess calories. You got to still fucking pound, eating fucking food. I'm assuming you're trying to gain because you're saying sufficient calories. It's not magic. If you're struggling to eat as much calories, guess what it takes? More food. Más food. Más comida. N. Shire, question. I'm a female who needs to lose around 50 pounds to get to a healthy weight, and I'm making good progress with intermittent fasting. I know loose skin is not always preventable, but what is the best way to minimize it? To lose weight consistently and regularly and not do any kind of drastic weight loss, like flood, like dropping tons of weight really fast. And the skin that you have, if it's loose, it's already loose. So just don't lose too fast. Don't do any like massive starvation diets. That's my recommendation. Yeah, dude, I agree. Facebook is fucking me. Facebook is not showing alerts. Like there's like what? 150, 200 people watching live. There's like 10 on Instagram and like 9 on Facebook, according to my stream. Like what the fuck? No one's getting alerts on Facebook. And you know what's funny? Facebook and Instagram, same company. Both are Facebook. I don't know how many of you know that. Instagram's owned by Facebook. So it's YouTube is actually giving people alerts. So apparently if you want your alerts, go on YouTube. YouTube Daily Swole Podcast. Go fucking watch there. I'm getting a lot of questions there, so I'm focusing on that in all honesty. Shorty Love 87. Papa Swole, have you ever had to personally break an unhealthy food addiction? I don't know about an addiction. I mean, I ate Sour Patch Kids a lot, but I just stopped eating them. So it wasn't really that much of an addiction. I just kind of like, I'm over it. So I stopped. I guess that'd be the best example because some of my content has Sour Patch Kids in it and I'm like eating too much. It just got to the point where I'm like, I just gross myself out. I'm like, I'm done. That's it. So I guess, yeah, kind of. I don't really have an addictive personality. I have like, I guess an obsessive in some cases. Like I get really fucking hooked on something and I go all in. But I wouldn't say addictive in that sense. Addictive is more like I can't stop. That's just willpower in many ways. But, of course, it depends on what the substance is or what it is exactly. Jeremy Weeb. Call it Weeb. Weebs. What's up, Dubs? Hey, Papa Swole. What up? I've been training and lifting for 4 years now and went from 215 to 170 pounds. I added the shpa. Now I'm stuck trying to get rid of the last little bit of body fat. Love handles, abs. Any advice? Yeah, keep going. 4 years. 4 years and you lost 45 pounds in addition to building muscle. So get rid of that last little bit. Could be hormone issues. Could be you're still eating too many calories. Could be any advice? Yeah, fucking keep going. Keep going. You're stuck. How long are you stuck for? How are you measuring this stuckness? Like, is it just in your head or are you actually measuring specifically and really accurately on a regular basis? It's very easy to get frustrated and not realize how short of a time frame you're getting frustrated in. Angela Native. This is my first daily swole. Well, aren't you on it? Yeah, your first daily swole. Thank you for being here, Angela. I have a severe chronic illness, about 40 to 50% bedbound. Fuck. I added the fuck part. Do you have any tips on staying as healthy as possible and dropping extra body fat if you're bedbound? That's vague because I don't know your illness and I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not going to speak on your specific illness. But healthy, I mean, eating the right foods, being as active as you can. You could do yoga in bed. You could do stretching and mobility stuff and exercise in bed. Like, are you not able to move? I mean, you could do hip bridges. There's things you can do in bed. You can have bands. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm fairly certain, I don't have a huge experience with Pilates, but pretty sure that Joseph Pilates actually created Pilates because he was like bedridden in the hospital or something like that. I forget the exact story, but that's why the reformers and shit like that is on a mat. Like, he created it because he couldn't move. So Pilates might be a great thing. I don't know what your restrictions are, so you'd have to clear that with your doctor first, though. Yolanda, what up? Hey, Papa, you are saving my life with yoga. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking look, it's good advice if you take it, so I'm proud of you. That's excellent. Yoga's amazing. Do your fucking yoga. Do yoga, motherfucker. Michael Palmer, UK Fitness. What up, dog? On Instagram. Any tips for improving shoulder mobility? Sure. I mean, work on your posterior rotator cuff. You got external rotations. You got prone presses. You got floor cobras. You got yoga. Do your fucking yoga. There's great yoga classes, yin yoga, upper body yoga classes for sure. It's fucking great. Titan Dozer 14.3, 143. I'm obese and my schedule does not allow for a conventional class. Where do I find a safe way to learn being overweight and out of shape with yoga? There are probably there are probably apps out there, but we have a full yoga studio for beginners up through more advanced in Swolenormous X, my website. My link is in my bio. So I only know about my content, so I can't speak on what other people have done, but you want to start with the beginner class. There's great things online. You just got to be careful. Like you mentioned, you got to be careful with being obese and, falling over, making sure that you have, you don't hit your head or something like that. It depends on what your restrictions are and how obese you are. But there's great things online. There's great free classes on YouTube. But if you're interested in our classes in our yoga studio, you can check it out on the website, swolenormousx.com. Let's see. Hope that helps. Irma Bumbalumbadus. Fucking YouTube. YouTube is like a cross between Facebook and Instagram. Like, you have a lot of just people that just have screen names on YouTube, but then you have names that are kind of like screen names. Irma Bumbalumbadus. What sort of strength and weight training would you recommend for marathon runners? I freaking hate hitting the gym, but I know that it's important for my running game. I'd be more concerned with running heel to toe for 26 fucking miles if that's the case. I don't do marathon running, so I'm not even going to touch this, to be honest. I mean, strength and weight training, if you're doing a marathon, there's specific ways to train for a marathon that I'm not aware of or never really took interest in whatsoever. But I would say yoga just for recovery and, basic strength training. I don't know if there's any specific things that you would work on. I'm just more concerned about the running form over the course of your life, heel to toe and that shit. Let's see. Amy Eanes question. What is the deal with heart rate target zones? There's different zones for like different low, moderate, or higher intensity. So when you have zone training, the classic way of doing zone training is like you spend X amount of time in zone 2 or zone 3. So it's kind of like interval. So you're getting more work done it's kind of like interval training, essentially. You could do long, slow duration, going for a walk, going for a jog. But any type of interval training allows you, like, that's why HIIT training got popular and that kind of like catchphrase got popular, because you can do more work in X amount of time. Because if you're going like really hard and then moderate and then hard and then slow, and this, you're giving your body periods of rest while you're hitting higher levels of cardio or effort. So you're able to get more work done rather than just go for a nice consistent jog. You're maybe sprinting and then walking and then jogging and then sprinting and then walking and then sprinting. It's like that kind of thing with the zone training. I don't do a lot of cardio zone training. I really don't fuck with that. It's just not my interest. I do plenty of yoga and I like to get my heart rate up. I'll do 15, 20 minutes to warm up before I go. That's plenty for me. Instagram's going to shut down in a minute and a half, but if I check over here, I'm going to load it back up. So if I don't get to another question, it cuts off, I'll reload it in a second. Let's see here. Ooh, let's see. Silver Gray is a critique. Love the message. Don't always care for the delivery. That's cool. You don't have to like it. As you grow, will you try to reach more people by not alienating those who are not willing to watch or listen past the NOC, especially women? I will always make my content the exact fucking way that I want to make it. I'm not going to bias my content towards any one person or anyone that tends to get offended. So if it's too sensitive for you or anyone else, then you can go watch something else. But thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. La La Lush. Papa Swolio, my right foot is flat and find it hard to squat. I usually go lower on my toes, and come up that way too. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. Am I losing tension to my glutes and hamstrings by not keeping my foot flat on the ground? All right, I'm not exactly sure what the physical thing is going on. I'm assuming your heels are coming up, so your form sucks, it sounds like. So you should not be doing squats like that. Your heels should not be coming up off the ground. You have poor hip and ankle mobility for sure. So one of the issues with tight calves, for example, is wearing heels, having elevated heels, having your ankle locked in that fucking position. What happens is when you go do squats, all of a sudden there's tension. So those muscles lock up and have a little bit less elasticity in that sense because they're protecting the joints and they're trying to make sure they don't rip off the bone. So you're going to have a little bit more exaggerated compensations. You're going to see it more when it's under load. So when you need to work on mobilizing your ankles. You can lift your heels up on plates. You have to start stretching out your calves. Doing more yoga would be beneficial, and working the muscles on the front of your shin, your foot, your anterior tibialis would be beneficial. So if you have a flat foot, doesn't mean you have a weak foot, but I would recommend working on those extensors and the anterior tibialis on that right foot, and also mobilizing your ankles and working on yoga and getting into a deep squat with your feet flat. You don't want your heels coming up. And if you're unable to do that, your back's going to round. You got to be really careful and modify your squat so you don't go down the way and get a lot of tail tuck and put pressure on your vertebrae. Hold on. Let me just start up the Instagram again. We'll do a couple more. We'll do a few more. That's a good sign. Let's see here. Continued. Hold on. Continued. Post that up. All right. We'll do a few more questions. I keep skipping your question. I have so many questions and comments here. I'm scrolling through. I just don't see all of them. So you can ask again. And if I miss it, oh, I did answer your question. I saw you keep skipping my question. And it says, never mind, you answer my question. I'm behind. I'm not live where everyone's asking the question. So I'm trying to scroll through. So if I miss something, whatever. No one gets alerts on Facebook. So people are saying that you only get alerts on Facebook when you have the app open already. Who has the fucking app? If you're sitting there with it open, that makes sense. Let's see here. Cardew Adventures, Papa Solio, I'm wanting to bulk, but seem to binge in 3 days. I have gained 8 pounds, went from 21% body fat to 25 in 3 days. You're micromanaging your shit too much, dude. I'm upping the weights. I'm upping my weights in my strength, but I panic I am messing up. Should I cut? Dude, what the fuck? You're wanting to bulk, but you seem to binge in 3 days. I have gained 8 pounds. If you're binge eating, should I cut? You got to get your shit together. I can't even answer that question. You don't even know what you want. Should you cut? You gained 8 pounds of water weight. You're not 25. How are you measuring that? I know you're holding one of those fucking things, aren't you? You're holding one of those bioelectrical impedance bullshit fucking handheld things, aren't you, for that body fat? Or you're stepping on a scale. Fuck that stupid shit. I know you are. You can follow up, Cardew. I know you are. You shouldn't cut. I don't know. You're not. You don't go from 21 to 25 in 3 fucking days. It's water weight. You're fine. Jessica N, what are your tips for keeping diet clean when traveling, such as long flights, staying at someone's house where it's all processed foods, in a food desert or desert? In a food desert? You're in a food desert? You mean dessert? You could bring food. If you're on long flights, you could bring food. You can actually bring tons and tons of fucking food on a plane. A lot of people don't know that. You could bring grocery bags of food with you. So you can make food. You can freeze it ahead of time. And then bring it with you on the plane and it'll thaw out and you can put it in the fridge. So you can make a lot of just like bulk food. You can make sweet potatoes and you can make, let's say, grass-fed beef, just throwing it out there, vegetables or whatever, and 3 fucking Tupperwares and bring them with you on the plane, then put them in the fridge when you get there and then eat from that resource. So honestly, my tips are either get used to fasting, go shopping, make your own food, or bring it with you. I mean, there's really, what other tips are there? I mean, you can make your own food. The more you can make your own food and bring it with you, the better. Lifetime supply of steak or sweet potatoes. What do you mean? Like if I had to choose one, that would never happen. But steak, I mean, better off having steak rather than just sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes aren't going to fill you up. Steak is always good. Thank you, Gianna. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. So Kimberly, are raised squats not good? I see folks elevating their heels during squats. They say you can go deeper with your squat. Yeah, you can go deeper. That's why people wear platform shoes and high heels, because it takes pressure. When you elevate the heels, it slacks the Achilles tendon more. So in other words, when you elevate your heels, the tightness in your ankle is less of an impact. So you're able to keep better posture, but it doesn't get you, it's like a detour around your compensation. So it's not addressing the issue, it's going around the issue, which makes the issue still exist. And it can still lead to you having an anterior pelvic tilt. You could be compounding that issue. People elevate their heels, so it makes the squat easier, but it's not fixing the problem. So it doesn't mean you can't squat with your heels up, but you better be wearing flat soled shoes. That's why I like my Vibrams or Vivo Barefoots, things of that nature. And then you're working on it too. Helen, is sourdough bread better alternative to wheat bread? I don't recommend either. So that's my personal response to that. Doesn't mean it's the right one. I just don't eat bread anymore. I have a strong stomach. I don't really have any allergies or a lot of intolerances. I just don't find benefit. If I don't find benefit from it, I'm not going to put it in my mouth. I'd rather eat rice or white rice or sweet potatoes. Just personal preference. Shame on the moon. What exercises should you avoid with shoulder impingement? Ones that hurt. ones that hurt. I mean, it depends on what the issue is. There are different types of impingement. If it's just like the supraspinatus, if it's just, this might bother you, doing one of those kind of things. There's different ways, different sources of inflammation. But it's really good if you balance it out. Of course, you want inflammation, but if you're doing external rotations and posterior rotator cuff work. Alex XLV 333, in other words, what is your mindset? I like the Roman numerals. What is your mindset when dealing with unreasonable anger towards you because of how your message can be a true? Okay, hold on, I gotta read this again. What is my mindset? What is your mindset, being me, when dealing with unreasonable anger towards you because of how your message can be a truth bomb for people in denial? My mindset? What do you mean? This never crosses my mind. Unreasonable anger? I don't deal with unreasonable anger. If I'm dealing with it, that means I'm listening to that shit. If you're anger, it doesn't bother me. If you're in denial, it's fine. If you actually have like input, but some people, if you're like, you fucking, it doesn't has no place at my table. I don't spend time on it. Good question. I never really notice unreasonable anger because I just ignore that shit. David Schrader, I heard you say that your body can adapt to different types of cardio over time. All of it. Your body is just adapts to everything. Adapts to weather, adapts to lifting. That's what muscle building is, or weight loss. It's just adaptation. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? I love these coffee burps because it tastes like coffee when I burp. I'm like, it just tastes good. It's like a good burp. And like, it really tasted good too. It's enjoyable. Good experience. Let's see. Over time, resulting in fewer calories being burned. My question, would that be reflected in my heart rate, trying to prevent it? Prevent what? Prevent your heart rate? You're trying to die, bro? Easy there. Yeah, your heart rate, your body becomes more efficient. So things like your heart rate, your stroke volume actually increases. So the reason why people that are very cardiovascularly adapted, if that's even like grammatically correct, but people that have like high VO2 max, cyclists, endurance athletes, and people that do a lot of things, a lot of endurance type training, their heart rates are lower. It doesn't mean their body is pumping out less blood. Oh, your heart rate's so slow. You're still getting the same amount of blood, if not more, but the amount of blood that's ejected from the heart increases per beat. It's called the stroke volume. So you're able to get the same work done. Your heart actually works less. It's a good adaptation. Your heart actually becomes more efficient at pumping out more blood. So, for example, rather than having 80 beats per minute, you can get the same volume of blood over the course of 50 beats because your heart might be like, instead of like boom, 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 it'll be like this. Boom, 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 boom. A big exaggeration, but in other words, it will eject more blood, so you get more work done in a shorter period of time. Just more volume per blood per beat. Alex, again, you're just a very strong-minded person. Then I worry about offending people, and due to my anxiety, it's hard to keep my foot down. It depends. You got to it's got to be a thick skin. So look, I know like what that person before that said that, like, oh, are you ever going to think about making content for people that are maybe they watch and see the nuts on chin? If you watch my videos on YouTube and you see that intro, it says, the nuts on chin intro, and that is like bothersome for you, get the fuck out. I don't want you there. I don't want you watching my videos. If you don't have a sense of humor like that, if you don't see that and laugh, look, I make this stuff, I make the content for me as much as I do for you. I enjoy it. If I'm not going to laugh at my stuff, I'm not putting it out there. I do it for me. This is something that I enjoy doing. So, it doesn't bother me. There are 7 billion people in the world. If a few don't want to watch, fine. There's so many more that haven't even found my content yet that are going to love it. So it's all, if you make stuff or you say things or you formulate opinions, based on what you believe, and you're authentic to yourself and you just speak from your own personal, like, I'm not making anything up. I'm not trying to make up content. Like, I'm just voicing my opinion and I just have a creative aspect about it. I don't care. You can't care. You can't care. Everyone's got an opinion. It's fine. It's fine if someone doesn't like to watch my shit. Totally fine. Totally fine. A lot of people probably don't like it. I can't share it. I've had a lot of that people say that, like, I can't, and it makes me sad. Not for me. It makes me sad for them when they're like, I wish I could share it, but the swearing, I'm like, fuck, that sucks. That sucks. You can't share a post with swears in it because I'm afraid if people are going to see it, I can't share. It's like, fuck, man. It's no way to live. If you like something, fucking share it. If you like it, tell someone. Like, who are you fucking surrounding yourself with? Fucking gibberish. This ain't 1956. You can say fucking pussy and shit. You can say swears, and I will always do that. This is a safe space to not be politically correct for anyone that's new to the channel, new to the podcast. This is a space where you can say things. I'm going to say things that may offend you, just like Michelle's channel. My thoughts will probably offend you. That's a warning sign when you come in. All right. Look, what she says may offend you. So when you're offended, don't cry about it. Don't cry about it. Don't move in next to an airport and then complain about the noise. So I start off my videos with, I'm going to put my nuts on your chin. And if you stay around to hate the video, then I warned you. If you don't like salty nuts, then don't watch. Nice. Thank you for all the knowledge you drop. You rock. I also cut out bread and a whole bunch of my minor health problems got way better or went away completely. Good shit. Good for you, Tara. Good for you. Karaiko Cage. Good fucking name, fam. This is awesome. Good name. What kind of exercise do you recommend after a foot operation? After healing, of course. I'm not a foot expert in terms of, I don't know what kind of operation. First off, find out what you're approved to do and what you're cleared to do. I would say if you're cleared to do yoga, yoga's a great way to get all the proprioceptive, get all your balance and get all the aspects of your foot, get the flexibility and stretching. But if your doctor says, don't do that, or you did your therapy, don't do these, listen to them. I don't know what the foot operation is, but anything, just get back into it. The reason why yoga is so great is because it'll help you align, it'll help you balance, it'll help you even things out a lot. Because whenever you have a foot injury or an ankle injury or an injury on one side, you tend to compensate to the other side. So if you have a right knee injury, you're dealing with that, but then you're compensating using your left leg a lot more. And down the line, you have a leg pain, you have leg issues. And it's like, fuck, you hurt your right knee, but now you have left knee because you're not addressing both sides. It's a problem because when you go to a therapist, they know this. A lot of therapists know this when you have a knee injury on the right side, that the left knee is at risk because you're compensating on your left leg. But insurance keeps them from paying attention and billing for work on the left leg to make sure it doesn't get overtrained. So therapists are also in a tough spot because when the doctor says right knee, blah, 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 see therapist, and they have a prescription, they have to look at the right knee. But they know that you're going to compensate and the left knee is at risk. So it's like, you got to be, it's such a fucking, the system's not designed to get you healthier. And then your insurance stops covering you after like fucking 4 weeks and you're still injured. You need more therapy. They give you a couple exercises to download or a little packet and then you don't do them. And then the injury comes back and you never got over your compensation. That's why yoga can really be a benefit to people that are rehabbing because it'll help you balance out these alignments even after therapy and stuff. Danny, I have permanent nerve and muscle damage in my shoulder and arm and started yoga a couple weeks ago inside Swolenormous X, and yoga has really been helping me get my mobility back. Good for you, bro. I'm glad you've been digging in. Good for you, dude. Monica, these are just a couple comments, I guess. I'm just clicking on things that look, I say a couple keywords. I'm wearing Vibrams for over 3 months after 8 years in high heels required at work. It's been one of the best things happening to me. I wish I knew earlier. Good for you. Hey, Papa, do you ever run discount specials for Swolenormous X? Keep an eye on my content this week. It's my birthday week, passing on the gains to you. So yes, I do. I sure do. Alex, Papa is a unique flavor of nuts and coffee, so I guess others can stick to their pink drink. You know what I say? Fuck your pink drink. Damn straight, Alex. Look, I'm not making this content to be, I'm not making this content. I don't do the podcast. I don't do it for your approval. I'm glad you're here and I want you to enjoy it, but I don't do it for you to be like, oh, I like this. Can you do it this way? I'll try different things and I'll experiment, but I'm still going to say the shit that I want to say. And I like to swear. I like to talk about controversial things. And the last thing I give a fuck is your feelings. I want you to do better and I want you to be happy and I want you to find your path. But if it offends you, get the fuck out of here, snowflake. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying. Oh. You know what's actually good? If your work offends someone, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. Bum. There you go. Sizzle 18. What do people mean? Nuts on your chin is why I stopped and started watching in the first place, but I love the content. Yeah, look, if you watch it once, you get the humor. It's funny. It's funny. Laugh about it. You know, it's like, come on. A little nuts on your chin. A little nuts on your chin. Man, if you can't laugh at that, you're not good company, in my opinion. Yeah, she might be. Furious George. I feel like Michelle is too fucking nice for a person with a channel called My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You. Michelle's awesome. She's a sweetheart. Now she's got strong opinions, but look, you know, these are ways for us to embellish in our thoughts. I don't run around yelling at fat people. I think people think like I'm in the car, like driving Mulgany. I'm like, you fucking fat ass. Well, I guess I am when I film that shit, but I don't hate fat people. It's not like I'm, you know, you don't see fat acceptance in person. You don't see people saying stupid shit in person. I'm here to help people. I'm here to make sure that you're fucking getting on the right track. If you get offended by my content, again, go watch the Disney Channel. They're on 24 hours a day too. Tawny Cisneros, what are your thoughts with thermogenic supplements for weight loss? Is it a waste to use? Not only a waste, super dangerous. I wouldn't fuck with any of those. You do not need thermogenic supplements for weight loss. You are your own thermogenic source. You need to eat better, restrict your caloric intake so you're in a deficit. Doesn't have to be a lot, maybe 500 a day, and exercise regularly and consistently. Get good sleep, hydrate, meditate, practice yoga, all that shit, all that stuff. I share all your shit. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Awaken the Wolf. Our system is designed to medicate, not heal. Sick care, not health care. Damn straight. Christine, do you ever get headaches from drinking too much coffee? What is that? What's too much coffee? What do you mean? I don't understand. Processing. Brains. I don't understand. Too much coffee? Whatever can you mean? What does that mean? Too much coffee. Oh my goodness. I'm about to get a little Pumpelstiltskin on, so. I will have to break out of here in a short period of time because gym closes at 8 and it's like a little bit after 6. So I'm going to be getting like an hour 15, hour and a half. It's going to be a short pump. It's going to be nasty though. It's going to be a good pump. Juicy pump. Juice pump. Risa Hall, I read an article just the other day saying people who swear and cuss a lot are more intelligent than those that don't. Yeah, there were some other aspects of this. It was funny because there was an article or some study, blah, 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 that was released. And these things kind of get viral and go around now and again. It was if you stay up late, have a messy room, and you swear a lot, you're like a genius. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm off the charts. I have like an organized mess. So here's the thing. The way I work is if I have a place to put things like, oh, this is where this goes, it'll go back there and I'll be kind of clean. But if it's just like, I'm very bad with cleaning. I know it's not cleaning, organizing. It depends. I have to be in a certain mood. A lot of times I just get distracted and I just don't follow through with it, or I'll be like, where do I put this? Mama Swole is a lot better with that shit. So when she's like, oh, this goes here, I'm like, oh, okay. And I just put it back there when I'm done with it. It's more like that initial organization that needs like, this needs a place to go. Cool. And then it goes back there and I make sure it goes back there. Otherwise, I'm just like, but this room, I mean, behind me, I have a bunch of things that need to be moved out. Like that table shouldn't be there. There's a bunch of things that don't need to be here, that need a lot of furniture over here and stuff. So there's a lot of things that I can't clear. It's a big day of like organizing and moving this shit. Hola, Papa. Hello. Hold on, let me answer this message quick. I believe I can make gains. All right, let's see here. That James 1130. A couple more questions. Hola, Papa. Hello, James. For those of you that are over on Instagram, I'm trying to get as many questions as possible, but make sure you also subscribe to the Daily Swole podcast channel on YouTube. Better video, better audio, and also you're going to get your questions up on the screen specifically. So it's really cool for the replays. So I'll try to look back and forth, but definitely got to prioritize these over here. I got a lot over here, so make sure you go subscribe there too. All right, that James, I feel my best when I feel my best when I lift like an hour. Ow, my ankle. When I lift like an hour. Hey, baby, come here. Mama, come here. Hey, come here. Want to see the podcast? Come here. Come here. Up, up, up. Good girl. Come here. Hold on, let me get this beach. Up, my God. Oh my God. Don't be such a beach. Okay. Let's answer a couple questions, huh? Let's see. All right. I feel my best when I lift like an hour after a small meal. I usually have a PB&J on healthy bread, unquote, healthy bread, but I'm trying to cut out bread. Can you suggest any replacements? After a meal? Oh, when you lift after a meal? For me personally, I just have a sweet potato, usually. Say goodbye. All right. We good? Let's see here. Okay, sharpen. All right, if you're triggering someone, at least you know you're getting someone's thoughts going. That's true. I have a sweet potato when I lift. Healthy bread. Healthy bread. How many subscribers did Brittany? Oh, this is produce, not pills. How many subscribers did Brittany Dawn actually give you? None. I got them all myself. She didn't do jack shit for my subs. Is that how you think of that? You think Brittany Dawn gave me subscribers? Get the fuck out of here. I got every single subscriber myself. The bullshit with that whole thing was about the riding the wave. It's like, no, I was making trending topics and trending content about someone who fucked up and continues to fuck up. And I have more content coming out about that beach. Papa Swolio. Say hi to the peoples. You always look away. Look, people want to know you. People want to see you. Her little legs are kicking out. Meh. People want to see you on the podcast. Say hi. Talk to them. Talk to them. Papa Swolio, Papa Okay. Oh, God. Any of you have pets and you just pick out, you put them down, it's like, pff, just fucking like a hair. I was concerned about my coffee. I'm like, don't get hair in my coffee. All right, Papa, that was a Papa Swolio break. And we're back. Let's see here. We're slowing down here. We're getting some cool questions. We're getting some some fun questions though too. Let's see. Bum, bum. Can we get a random? Oh, that's a good one. Can we get a random quote from the wall? If you're listening to the podcast, I actually did a quote from the wall. I did an actual quote from the wall earlier. Yeah. How about be selfless by being selfish. Be selfless by being selfish. There's your quote. Be selfless by being selfish. My feed is so far behind the live. Well, I'm also behind in the comments. I'm scrolling down, so I'm missing some. Shame on the moon. Do you have any dietary recommendations for acne? Yeah, sleep, proper hydration, getting off things like gluten and dairy. Do an elimination diet would be my recommendation. My skin's been fucking never better, but my diet is also on point. For me, it's on point for me. Let me clarify. I mean, it's on point for me being on point. But one of the things I get a lot of comments on this, and I appreciate it. But a lot of you are always saying in the comments, I notice in the videos, like, "Oh my God, your skin's so I love your skin." I mean, I think women notice that more. But Mama Swolio's a makeup artist, so she's a professional makeup artist. So she has me washing and using these fucking things, and I'm like, okay, cool, and it feels amazing. But it's also my nutrition. Don't underestimate the power of your fucking food with your skin. Your skin is a mouth. Your skin absorbs things. So what you put on your skin and also what you're consuming from the inside out, like if you're a woman and you're putting on makeup, I mean, obviously if you have a better canvas, you're going to be able to put the makeup on better. And if you want clearer skin when it comes to acne, because we didn't talk about this. We have never really done an acne episode, but I had bad acne in high school and college. It was really bad. Totally bad, like fucking all over the place. And I don't really have a lot of pictures from that time period, as a lot of you can imagine. You know, your fucking face looks like a pizza. You don't really do a lot of pictures. So, and I had taken a picture once, and, you know, I went through a lot of shit, all the topical things. It's the diet, it's nutrition, it's the hormones, it's all that stuff. But a lot of people aren't really putting in the right fuel. So your body's not going to adapt well to it. Let me see. Hey, Papa, I love training hard, heavy weightlifting, 5Ks, yoga. I am anemic and tend to get lightheaded and pass out. Coffee helps, but should I take breaks from consuming it every day? Wait, what? Let's go ahead. Sorry for sending the question again. I'm pretty curious about the damn too much coffee movement. Is there a too much coffee movement? What the fuck is going on? I am not privy to that movement. Eni, too much coffee movement. I'm not a party to that movement. If you're anemic, coffee probably helps. I'm assuming, because like when you drink coffee, I'm assuming your body, I think, right, releases glucose in the bloodstream. I don't know. Like, why would that help? If you're anemic, you need iron. Eat some meat. I mean, is that, I don't know. Like, you should be taking another supplement. It shouldn't have to do with caffeine. Let's see what we got here. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Tawny Cisneros. I saw your meal with white rice. What's the deal with others saying to get rid of white rice? I don't know what the deal. I don't know what the deal with anyone saying anything. I don't know what the deal. I mean, it's context. Not everyone should be consuming white rice. White rice doesn't really have nutrients in it. It's just a starch. I mean, it's after a workout, I'll have white rice, but I try not to like regularly. I prefer sweet potatoes. I'm also having vegetables and there's butter on it, so it lowers the glycemic index. It's not as like impactful in the blood. I'm getting other fibrous foods and things of that nature. A lot of people have that, Kimberly. My skin cleared up when I quit bread. A lot of people say a lot of things, Tawny. Look, fuck, I say a lot of things. I say a lot of things. A lot of people say a lot of shit. Don't eat rice. Don't drink coffee. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. Don't eat meat. Don't. Like I said, the eyes closed diet. Don't eat with your eyes open. If you close your eyes, the calories don't count. Okay. Jacqueline, I will not support a no coffee movement. Fuck that. It's not welcome here. Look, I think there's benefits to giving your like adrenals and like, okay, no coffee. And I'm not going to do it. Look, if you want to give up coffee, fine, but don't pretend like that's like going to improve your health dramatically. It's the pop company trying to get rid of competition from coffee. Oh, that's possible. Sean, that's a good point. Why wouldn't they, right? Caffeine. It's probably Bang Energy. Bang Energy is fighting against coffee. Coffee's bad for you. Drink Bang with super creatine and underage girls. I only said that because of what Michelle posted a video about that. I didn't watch the video yet. Papa Swole, what are your favorite type of nuts besides the kind that go on your chin, of course? Well, Tyler, very well stated. Very well put. Thank you for helping me with that answer because that's where I was going to go with that. My favorite type of nuts, I really don't eat them that often. Macadamia are great. Walnuts. I really don't have nuts often, aside from the nuts I put on everyone's chins. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of nuts. Love olives, though. Has nothing to do with nuts, but I'm just like, oh, omega-3s or olives and fats. Ellie in general, when lifting weights, if you cannot afford barefoot style shoes, are flat sole shoes, other similar to Converse, still better than lifted style shoes? You could be barefoot. That's free. But I know what you're saying. So, well, if you're flat sole shoes similar, are you buying Converse? I mean, if you're buying Converse, you can purchase shoes that have neutral toe lift. Like they're not expensive. Like the Vibrams that I have, the ones that people don't, oh, they're ballerina slippers, like $60. If you want to get the other fancier ones, it might be 120 or whatever. Who knows what they cost? I don't buy these because they're cheaper. It's great that they're cheaper. They're the most minimal feeling. You barely feel that they're on because they don't have any straps or anything on top. But yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have a flat sole. You want to have a neutral drop or a zero drop. A zero drop means you're not on an angle. You're not like your heels aren't elevated. So the more neutral or zero drop that you can get. Close eyes and drink coffee. Risa, I have autoimmune anemia and it's a bitch, always lacking in energy, even with iron injections. See, autoimmune anemia, I'm assuming what your body breaks down the iron maybe and puts you into anemia. I'm not an expert on that, but you said autoimmune. I'm sure there's different types of it. And Michelle has done 2 on Bang in the past week. Yeah, I did one on Bang a few months ago. I even forget what it was about. I think it was just about Bang being ridiculously fucking packed with caffeine. Gonna have to jump in on that again. Jason A, well said. Asians have been eating white rice forever. They were super healthy till the American diet came to them. We're so unhealthy. We're so unhealthy. I would not recommend Converse for workouts, just saying. I have a pair. I hate them. I fucking hate Converse. I hate them now. I can't wear anything. I'm so used to being barefoot. I can't wear anything that resembles a standard sneaker. Sapanka Suchardova, any opinion on the set weight point theory? I'd have to look and read the definition so I don't give you an inaccurate answer. Your body is going to find an adaptation point. It really comes down to your body wants to adapt. Your body wants to adapt. Your body will have a general point of comfort, of balance, of homeostasis. So in terms of what the theory is or what the actual definition, I've never really given it much attention or much thought because that's not how I approach people. That's not how I approach my content or any type of like structure for nutrition. I like to start with the elimination diet. I start with habitual change. I really don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. So I don't have a real accurate, well thought out answer, I guess I haven't given it a lot of thought. So I want to address the question and, I see it. I just don't have, because you asked it earlier, I just don't have I haven't really given a lot of depth of thought and looked into it specifically. I just never really had to deal with it. I don't think it's a real issue. I think the set point theory, I think that's there's a lot of science that is unnecessary for the average person in terms of execution. And that's really where a lot of my content comes in. There's doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it doesn't exist, doesn't mean it doesn't provide value in some aspects. But there's a lot of content, and a lot of this content is just extra information that you don't need. It just fills up space, and it gets you thinking about shit that, look, if you just fucking get to work, who cares about your set weight point? What do you want, right? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to lose weight? You want to build muscles? Like, let's do the things that will get you there. Forget about those rules or what set point theory or what some fucking guys in a lab said in 1960. It's like, come on. So I've never had that ever need to be hashed out. The Jihad plays. Let's do Captain Avenger first. Would you ever do a video on Tyrone, the fitness addict? No, I've never watched his content. I've briefly seen the ones that Alan has done. I have no interest in covering that shit. Alan's done it enough. Not really. I have no interest in it. Doesn't mean I won't ever, but I think he's got the fucking ball. I don't know all the context and the history. I don't like to watch super stupid shit all the time, but Alan's destroyed him, so let that fucking. What's your opinion about Jeff Cavalier being natty or not? I haven't met him in person, but looks natty to me. When you've been training for a long time, a lot of people think I'm not natty. When you've been training a long time and you're consistent as shit and you're always doing your thing and you're an expert at your craft, you can get amazing results. He's not a massive dude by everything that I've seen. He's just fucking ripped. Most people think that's why people like to be lean and here's how it looks, especially in video, you look bigger when you're leaner because you see more separation in shape. You look bigger. You look jacked when you're lean. Doesn't mean you're big. So Winona, a couple more. I got to roll. I got to lift. Winona Rosado, do you think that being in the healthy range for BMI is of the utmost importance, or is being mildly overweight, exercising regularly, and still eating healthy still healthy? If you're exercising, don't give BMI much attention. Being mildly overweight, if you're exercising, you're building muscle, BMI is no longer accurate. I'm obese according to BMI. So if you're the average person that doesn't train at all, BMI might be a general idea. But if you're exercising and building muscle, BMI, it becomes more and more useless. Sweet Candy, just finished my workout. I love to listen to your podcast. I'm doing my cardio. Thank you. I do not know who that is, Risa. So I'm not going to bring that up. I don't know who that person is. But anyway, great questions. Look, amazing session, and we'll probably do some more questions and stuff in the near future, but I will be following up with amazing content this week. Got some great stuff coming for Swole X members and some people that are interested in joining Swole X, so stay tuned. I will be giving a lot of information here on the podcast and on my Instagram stories and so forth about this week. It's a huge week, and I want everyone to get on it if you're interested. So a lot of you might have been kicking around the idea of joining Swole X. So this is your week, and I'll be giving you more details about that starting tomorrow. So stay tuned to the podcast and stay tuned to my Instagram stories, and also Instagram stories, and I'll be giving you the updates and all the hookups and the details. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1185 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. A great Sunday Funday Q&Anus. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on YouTube. Apparently, Facebook sucks and Instagram sucks for notifications, yet tons of people are watching on YouTube. So if you go to the Daily Swole Podcast channel, subscribe and hit the little bell next to the subscribe, apparently you'll actually get notifications. Amazing, which is great. So thanks, Google and Mark. I'm watching you, bro. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow for 1186 of the Daily Swole. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.